let's talk about our Falcons, Mike, because one of the guys that we think is going to take a step forward is Drake London. And tomorrow we'll be up there for OTAs. We're going to be up there talking to Coach Arthur Smith. A couple of guys are going to stop by the show as well. Should be a great day, and we want you to be a part of it, so make sure you tune in. Coach, by the way, is going to join us in the 5 o'clock hour. So tomorrow, if you're tuning in like right now, we'll be talking to Arthur Smith about all things Falcons. Drake London, Mike, what did you think about his rookie season, by the way? What did you think?
I thought the delivery system was a no-go. I thought that Mariota and him just couldn't get on the same page. And then once you did get, let's be honest, our boy out there, Desmond Ridder, things are really on an uptick. But once you could get Mariota to get the ball somewhere within that catch radius, and it's a big catch radius, Drake London showed you the ability. Now, he had 2 embarrassing fumbles, a couple of drops, but I still think you saw the brilliance. And I think if Ritter's the quarterback for more of the season, I think he maybe is the best wide receiver of that rookie class as far as production.
I agree. Should we have beat the Saints? Was it the Saints he fumbled in the game, Mike?
That's a game we'll never know. That was Ritter's first game. Tough spot to be in. Ritter gets the ball stripped after he makes contact inside the hash marks.
Yeah, that was a tough one. But leadership is going to be key. And Drake was asked about it on Good Morning Football on the NFL Network. Here's what he said.
I think I had to take the next step, I like to lead by example. And the next step is being more vocal. I got my feet wet this season. I feel like I have a grasp of what's going on. So I think I could take it to the next level.
I do too. And by the way, it's going to take more than just Ridder or, 1 or 2 guys. Listen, if you have a great football team, you've got leaders all over the football team, whether it be the defensive side, offensive side. But if you're going to be a star like we think Drake London can be, Mike, or Pitts for that matter, these guys are going to have to do their part verbally as well as showing out physically. Here is what he had to say about his quarterback. And this, again, is Drake London on Good Morning Football.
Like you're saying, his confidence, that speaks volumes in a room. He's your complete quarterback, his leadership role, he does a great job at, and he's doing a great job at it right now. And I think we're all excited just to see him out there and go out there and kill it.
Yeah, there was they gave the fans a little taste of what you may see. We talked about this on Friday up at Mercedes-Benz. Some of the play action stuff, wheel routes, running backs releasing out to the back, all the different packages you can use, multiple tight end packages, and the mismatches you may create. But, man, I know I've said it a bunch this week, but it just seems like we got some size and athleticism. We just, you know what it is, guys? We couldn't afford the best players. Now we've got some of the best players. It just looks that way.
Yeah, it looks different. No doubt about it. It's Dukes and Bell. It's our Falcon Report, guys. We're talking about Drake London and some of the things he had to say. What about the playoff potential? Because everybody's talking about this team. If you're sleeping on the Falcons, good. Keep sleeping. I don't mind that, Mike. I want to be under the radar. I want to look up in early November and we're like, how many games have we won?
Right.
People start paying attention to how good potentially this team's going to be. Here's what Drake London said about playoffs.
No, I think at the point we're at right now, I think that if you're not thinking about playing 20-plus games, then what are you doing, Our mentality and our goal is to just keep on playing through the postseason and make it to the big one. And I think you feel that in the locker room right now. Everybody's juiced, everybody's hyped to get to work. And I think we're all on the same path right now.
Hyped and juiced to get to work. And I think, for guys like Drake London, you come off of a season where it was good. To Mike's point, it wasn't great. But you can be much better. And if the delivery system is better, then you're going to have a bigger year. And it's not as if, Art's not going to go away from him. We talked about this. How do you balance these targets between Pitts and Drake London and now Bijan Robinson? Mike, this is a good problem to have. We went from CP carrying us, right? If he didn't get a number of touches, in a game, we probably weren't going to have a shot to win the game. And now you've got all these variety of guys that you can go to.
The game where we had to throw a lot, we were coming behind, was the Rams game. That was his most targets. He had 12 targets in that game. Also, he had 12 targets in the Steelers. But then you look at Drake London. We added this guy to be a playmaker. Pitts goes out, and you're looking at 3, 1, 4, 3, 5. There got to be more targets than
There has
that.
to be.
That's crazy talk.
There has to be.
He's got to be an impact player. You draft him there, he's got to be an impact player.
I'm with you. See, this is what we're talking about with throwing the ball vertically down the field. And we'll talk to Art about this tomorrow. But we can't be checking down, right? Because now we have the safety blanket of Bijan Robinson, which is going to be great. But, Mike, if we're going to be a real player or contender, you got to throw the ball vertically. How do you do that? You got to throw it to Drake. You got to throw it to Pitts. And they both, I think, have to see more targets this season.
His best game of the year was the last game of the year. 8 targets, 6 receptions for 120. And that was the 4th game he got to play with Desmond Ridder.
Got you. So it got better as it went on. Last but not least, what about drafting Bijan? Here's what Drake London said about his new teammate.
He's been amazing, you know, and this goes back to Coach Art and the guy that he brings in. He's humble, hardworking, doesn't really talk too much, but he gets the job done. And then, as you can see from his tape from Texas, I mean, he's an electric back, and we're just excited to use him in all aspects of the field.
Hey, so humble, we knew that. Works hard, we knew that. Doesn't talk a lot. Okay. I mean, Mike, that's what you get from these guys that are, I think, you know, like I don't want to say he's Barry Sanders, but those kinds of players that just, they go out and play, right? And I don't think you're going to see Bijan, if he has a 3-touchdown kind of game in the NFL, and I think he has the potential to do that, he may do it multiple times. He's not going to be like pounding his chest and saying, looking at me. That's just not his nature.
Hey, one of the greatest Falcons to ever dress out never said anything. Julio Jones.
You're right.
It wasn't like Julio was going to give you the big soundbite. Julio, I mean, other than the one time with, hey, Matt, we just talked to Sanu. He said, you guys should probably have 2,000-yard seasons. Julio goes, that's his opinion. Yeah, and he was just being a wise. But it's just, Julio rarely gave you the big soundbite, if we're honest. Other than, I'm out.
Oh, yeah, he did say that, didn't he? I forgot about that. With Shannon Sharp, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, I'm out. Skip.
Shannon's out of there too now.
Hey, no, Shannon's flying the coop.
When's he leaving?
When's the last day?
That has not been announced, but apparently the front runner is Shady McCoy to take over.
Oh, that'll be funny.
Now, the thing is, Shady's a loose cannon. He might just reach over and punch him. And I'd pay to see that. I would pay. Now, again, well, you know, Shady, quite honestly, you were never that kind of a running back. What? Say it one more time,
Say it again. Say it again.
I would watch Fox. I'd get up in the morning to watch Skip Bayless choked out by Shady McCoy. Day, you with me? Who's with me? Say it again, you.
It's like Pinky. Say it again.
You HGH plastic surgery looking mother.
Yeah, he is a loose cannon. But no, so Shannon, I think somebody just said Dukes, he's leaving after the NBA Finals is over.
And we talked about this briefly on Friday. When it went south, it was, they're talking about Brady. And it was a good argument, and Skip was making decent points, but be honest, Shannon was making better points. And then Skip's losing the argument. He goes, well, of course, you're jealous of Brady because he's playing at 45, and you had to walk away at 35. It's like, what?
He said that?
Yeah, and like Shannon's like, and his eyes got big. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it was like,
because he was like, I'm a champion.
Yeah, and it's like, first off, he's a two-time Super Bowl winner, and he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he's
you know what I mean? It's
solid.
like, and not everybody's career goes to 45. Tom Brady is the ultimate outlier. So it was a stupid comment, but that's when it got personal, and that's when the toothpaste wouldn't go back in the tube. From the way I perceived it.
Skip. It's Dukes and Bell
Say
Sports
it
Radio
again.
92.9 The Game. Say it again. As we talk about our Falcons here, I do think that the other part of this, and I just want to mention this because we're going to get Ross Tucker on again. Ross Tucker, Mike, gave Arthur Smith that he ranked all the coaches.
Right. And
he said Arthur Smith, in his opinion, is 18th best head coach in the NFL. Well, we've won 7 games in 2 years, right? Back-to-back years, 7 and 9 seasons. I don't have a problem with Ross Tucker putting Arthur Smith here. I don't even know if Arthur Smith would have a problem with this. But I, just so you guys know, he's got top 5. He's got Tomlin. He's got Peyton, Tom Peyton, Nick Sirianni, Bill Belichick, and Big Red.
Right.
As the top 5 coaches right now, or at least, in his rankings in the NFL. So Arthur Smith is 18. And then you had Mike McDonald, 14, Kevin O'Connell, 15, Dan Campbell, Lions, 16. Mm-hmm. Dan Campbell better than Arthur Smith?
Well, he's certainly given some sound bites. Yeah, just this week he said that Goff is better now in Detroit than he was with the Rams.
Yeah.
Now, whether you want to believe that or not, I mean, Goff had more talent at times around him with the Rams, and McVay's considered to be a better coach. But for what, Dan Campbell's pumping up his boy. He's better now. We're going to bite some knees, some ankles. No, I mean, but now there's...
And remember, they drafted the kid out of Tennessee.
Correct. They got Hendon Hooker,
Yeah.
but now the expectations for the Lions are up there. So how does Dan Campbell and his staff handle that? Look, we haven't done anything, so he's got his 18. We'll talk to Ross about it. I mean, we could argue that, Mike Vrabel's 13, Mike McDaniel with the Dolphins is 14. At least he's been to a playoff. So, I mean, there is something to say. And we'll ask Ross isn't being mean-spirited. He knows, too, we had no money the first 2 years that this coach was here. But now it's time to go. It's time to make something happen.
Yeah, certainly is. Hey, follow us, guys, on social media. He's Mike Bell, ATL. Say it again. I'm at Put 'em Up, C. Dukes, and this radio show is
Matter of
Dukes and
fact,
Bell 929.
I would like to see Shady McCoy kind of do like the Pee Wee Herman's Pee Wee's Big Adventure. Remember like the scene where he just crashes all the different TV shows and movie sets?
Oh, yeah.
And then Brandel Chambly's talking about Live Golf, and then Shady McCoy chokes him out, too.
He just makes his way to the set.
I'd like to see that.
Hey, guys, you can also watch us on Twitch and on YouTube, ATL 929 The Game, 929 The Game. Thanks to Whispers, who's running the cameras today.